It all began on a seemingly normal evening. I had returned home after a long day at work, expecting the usual quiet dinner and casual conversation with my wife. But there was an unusual tension in the air that night, one I couldn't immediately place. For weeks, there had been whispers and hints that something in our marriage wasn't right, subtle signs I had tried to ignore. I told myself they were just overthinking, but deep down, a small voice of suspicion refused to be silenced. That evening, the truth hit me like a lightning bolt. I received a message from a close friend urging me to look at something online. I hesitated, a part of me hoping it wasn't real, but curiosity won. When I clicked the link, my heart sank. There she was, my wife, caught in acts of betrayal that I had only feared in private. It wasn't just a vague rumor anymore, it was undeniable evidence, exposed publicly for anyone to see. My mind spun, unable to process how quickly the life I thought I knew had turned upside down. In a panic, my wife immediately contacted her lawyer, likely expecting some guidance, some way to control the narrative. But even he was speechless. There was a single paper, one document that I never expected would come into play, that rendered every explanation meaningless. The moment he saw it, his face froze. A mixture of disbelief and shock etched across his features. That paper didn't just confirm suspicions. It obliterated every attempt at damage control. It was as if all the carefully built walls of secrecy had crumbled in a single instant. I watched helplessly as she tried to explain, her voice trembling, eyes pleading, but it was too late. The exposure was complete. People we knew, friends, colleagues, even distant relatives, started reacting. Some were shocked, some judgmental, and some simply whispered behind our backs. I felt a mix of humiliation, anger, and deep sadness, realizing that our private pain had now become a public spectacle. The days that followed were unbearable. Every interaction became heavy with tension. The lawyer, still reeling from what he had seen, offered cautious advice, but even he admitted there was little that could be done. The paper had sealed the truth, and nothing could erase the evidence that now existed online and in the hands of anyone who sought it. At home, the atmosphere was suffocating. Conversations that were once light-hearted became charged with suspicion and resentment. I could no longer look at her without remembering what had been revealed. The betrayal wasn't just emotional, it was public, a constant reminder of everything I had trusted and believed, now shattered. Even weeks later, the ripple effects continued. Friends approached me quietly, offering condolences or advice. Some avoided me entirely, unsure how to navigate the awkwardness. And through it all, I struggled to reconcile the woman I thought I knew with the reality that had been exposed. Trust, once the foundation of our marriage, had been fractured in a way that could never fully heal. That single night, one paper, and the public exposure changed everything. It reminded me how delicate relationships can be, how quickly life can pivot, and how the hidden truths we ignore can sometimes emerge with devastating force.